So, coming to the end of the build, I feel like I've already talked about some things. And the one thing that comes to my mind right now, being Marvel themed, is She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. And at the time of this recording, I've watched all but the final episodes on Disney Plus, and I remember saying that I was super excited to watch this show, and now at the end, watching it all one by one, I am frustratingly upset. The show frustratingly upsets me, and the main reason why is because of the writing. The storytelling is not very good. And at first, the first episode was pretty good, solid, and enjoyable. But the more the episodes went on, the less I started to enjoy the episodes. And to begin with, I couldn't quite figure out why this was the case. Couldn't put my finger on it. And Viv and I, my fiance Viv and I, were watching it. And then she managed to figure out what it was. By about episode 4, we realized that it's boring, nothing's happening, nothing really, and that was it. It's just boring, and there's just not a lot of interesting stuff happening in it. There are some action-packed scenes. By the way, this is going to be a bit spoilery for people who haven't seen She-Hulk yet. There are some interesting parts, like for example the beginning when she first gets her powers, and when she fights alongside Wong with those bunch of demons. But these action scenes are very short. Let's see. There's scenes with the human parts where it's like a human story. Some of them are good, but then they're not that interesting. It's dull, it's badly written, nothing really happens, and one of the things that upsets me the most is the way that they use the cameo characters. They're all just badly done because they're just wasted potential. They don't know what they're doing. Where's that bit? The characters, the guest characters have been misused. Abomination, being a reformed pacifist, could have a kind of an interesting idea, and all in all that works. Tim Roth, I'm sure he's glad to be working. Wong, I think that's okay. I mean, the actor's pretty good, and he's all right in the series, but there's something about him that seems a bit off. And that ending scene where he was talking with that drunk girl, and they were like riffing over something, and that was I think I read somewhere that was completely improvised, and it shows because there was no structure and it just was not funny at all. But one of the things that really upset things for me is when they brought in Mr. Immortal. Mr. Immortal being a mutant who cannot die, his powers is he's immortal. Fair enough. And in the comics, he's tragic. He has a tragic story of the fact he can't die and all his loved ones is passing away, and he tries to commit suicide, and very tragic, and he reforms himself to be a hero. That's a kind of a roundabout way of saying it. In the TV show, he's a sleazebag who tries to leave all the various different women that he's married by faking his own death multiple times, and it's used as a comedy skit, and it's just flat. If it was just a random character who just so happened to be invulnerable, just make up a character invulnerable, that would be fine. But it's Mr. Immortal, and I just feel like it's been a complete mistreated misuse of the character. I think that the problem with this is the writing is just bad. I had heard somewhere that the people who wrote the She-Hulk and Attorney at Law series, who wrote it, they're kind of amateurs, from what I understand, in a way that they've admitted that they've never written a comedy. They don't know the superhero characters. They don't really look at the comic books, so they don't know the source material, and they don't really write lore stories very well, as in they don't have much experience writing lore. So you got a bunch of inexperienced people writing the stories, and they're not very good because they're very amateurish. They're the kind of writing I would do, and I'm a terrible writer. And it got to the point where my fiance Viv was like saying, okay, after episode 5, that's it, I'm done. Episode 5, I don't want to watch anymore. This is just a waste of my time. And I do not blame her. And I'm only watching it as a sense of obligation, and I want to, not obligation, I just want to see what happens at the end. The middle section of the show is just filler. There's nothing happening, not interesting at all. There's no action. And this is the thing that kills me. There are good things in it. There are some good human moments with Jennifer Walters. Like, for example, when she's dating all these different men using Tinder, and then she's using a She-Hulk profile to get the men that she wants. But they only look at her superficially as She-Hulk. That's good story. The story itself is strong, but it's just kind of glossed over. It needed more time to like fully flesh out, develop, and flesh out the character. But nope, just gloss through. Jennifer Walters' friends, Nikki, and I think the other guy character, they're useless. The actors, I completely feel for them. I think they're good actors. I don't know them, but I suspect they're good actors in their own way. But the characters of Nikki and whatever, they're useless. They're utterly useless. They don't do a thing. The other thing that pains me about all this is the actress, Tatiana. Oh, forgive me, I've forgotten her surname. I'll pop it up. But Tatiana, as an actress playing Jennifer Walters as She-Hulk, she is perfect. She's absolutely perfect for her role. She's got the right physique. She's got the right manner. She can emote. And it's really doing it for me. I truly believe that she is Jennifer Walters. And I feel like she's doing the best that she can with the material she's given, which is not good material. And I'm really upset because I really wanted this to work. And I've thought about this, and I feel like this is worse than the upset I have with Venom. Because Venom's being handled by Sony Pictures, and they're not very good at handling their comic property. But this is Marvel. This is Disney. They should be good with handling their IPs. And this is just a big misstep. I struggle to recommend this series. The first couple of episodes, yes, it's good watching the She-Hulk. The last couple of episodes, maybe the final episode will make it all better, I don't know. And it also just feels like they just didn't have the budget to really do what they want. Because, like, okay, the technology for doing She-Hulk CGI is pretty new, and they don't have much money because it's a TV show. It's not movie kind of budget. So I guess they had to write around those limitations. And plus they said, well, we don't know what we're doing. We've never done this before. We're just making it up as we go along. To summarize, is there a way to save She-Hulk? Is this a complete write-off? Has the damage been done? I don't know. I fear that... I really hope the damage isn't done. Like I said, I really like Jennifer Walters. I really like She-Hulk. I really like Tatiana. Tatiana has done a wonderful, wonderful job being the She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters. And I would like to see her doing more. Could she get a second series? Maybe. But the first thing to do would be to get new writers, get experienced writers, pay them whatever they want to craft great stories which can cover up the limitations of the budget and the CGI. And then in the next series, perhaps you're gonna have to mix up the action with the life stuff. The life stuff, there is some good content, but it can't all be just life stuff because it is a superhero series. I want superhero antics. I want smashing and all this kind of stuff. But I don't know. All in all, around the internet, it's She-Hulk Attorney at Law has been getting panned, and I think a lot of them is because there's a lot of fear about it being, this is like prejudice against the writers and anti-woke, woke, or whatever the term is. I think it's because they're not saying that they're being prejudiced against the writers or the staff or whatever it is. I mean, hell, even Titania, making her like an influencer of some kind. I was a bit unsure about it, but that could be because I'm old and I don't understand the youth. So I let that one slide, but everything else is just bad writing. And that's what I reckon a lot of people are saying. It's just bad writing. I'm going to watch the last episode, which is coming out soon. And I really hope it just ties everything together, but I haven't got my hopes up high. Such a shame. So to summarize, the actress is great. Some of the storylines, ideas are good, but they've not been written well and they've not been executed well. Hopefully in the next time round they can next time round they'll do a better job. And it's such good money. It would make so much money. It would be a huge success if they just get it right. Because everybody wants this to succeed. Everyone wants She-Hulk to succeed. So I watched the final episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law finally, and I was left feeling upset, frustrated, and angry. It was not what I wanted at all. The final impression I got was these writers either don't know how to write a good story that makes sense and fits in with the Marvel Universe, or they just don't care. Either scenarios are terrible, and I felt that the ending was unearned. You don't get to do that kind of fourth wall breaking writing until you're much more established as a character. You don't do it in the first series, in my opinion, and I just felt sorely disappointed by the whole thing. However, looking online on the different forums and chats and other people's opinion, it seems to be split. Some people really hated it, some people really liked it. So I am a little bit at a loss for what to suggest. Personally, I would not recommend the first series of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Having said that, I do hope that Tatiana Maslany does come back as She-Hulk, because I think she's absolutely perfect for the role. And if they were to make a series 2 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, I hope that the writers take on the feedback from everybody and improve the writing of the show, or perhaps just get new writers for the show. But at this moment in time, I have no idea if they will do a series 2 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law.